when we go on holiday, quite often, when we get back from holiday, we have to drag ourselves out of bed, drag ourselves into the office, and we sit there looking at the screen. What the bleep are we doing here? Anybody had that? Hands up? Or put a yes in the chat box? Yep, I can see a few hands going up. Yep, absolutely. We all do, right? We all have that. And a few chat boxes, yes, as well. And look, it's very normal. And yet, when we're going on holiday, the reverse scenario, and if you're like me, you're up to 3 a.m., normally packing lastminute.com, and then you forget your underpants and have to wear the same ones inside out, back to front all week long. Anyway, so what happens is when you're going on holiday, you tend to spring out of bed, spring into a taxi, spring into the airplane, and spring into the swimming pool at the other end with loads of energy because you're aligned to something that you really love doing. And that's so important in terms of business and in life, to really find what that sense of love is that you have for what you do. What is your purpose? Or can you find that sense of purpose? My purpose, was it to be a super duper hockey player? I used to play Premier League hockey. Was it to inspire the world and become the best healer and best CEO? Is it to have a great relationship with my partner? Or is it to be a good dad to my kids and a good family member? It's up to you, really, but you need to find your purpose. And in terms of that, I always suggest, if you want to find what your purpose is, a good way of looking at it is to write down, you can do this now if you want, or you can do it afterwards, is to write down what you truly love and enjoy doing. What are you passionate about doing? And then what are you gifted about doing as well? What has God gifted you in this lifetime in some way or form? So what do you love doing? What are you gifted doing? And how can you utilize those to add value to people in some way or form? Or I've spoken on stage in front of 4,500 people at one stage, and I used to have a radio show called Inspirational People, Inspirational Stories on Dublin City FM. So if I was to put you on stage in front of 4,500 people and beam it out on my radio show to say 8 billion people around the planet, what would you speak about if you were 90 years of age? What would you be most passionate about? What legacy would you like to leave? And when you know what that is, can you reverse engineer yourself back to where you are today and work out, who do I need to collaborate with? What do I need to learn? Who do I need to model to be worthy enough to stand on that stage, give that speech, and leave that legacy? And that's a really good way as well of finding out what your path is. However, some of us have different things. Some of us go through, like me, divorce. Or how many people, anybody in the chat box, have you gone through divorce? Have you gone through an ailment? Have you gone through a life-changing thing in some way or form? Put it in the chat box, say yes. Yeah, I'm sure you have. Look, I'm just getting here. There we go. Yep. Let me just go down here. Yes, 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 Karen. Yes, Deepa. Yes, Chrissy. Many, says Chrissy. Wow. Yes, Nikki. Yes, Angela. We all have, right? We've gone through, all of us. Yes, says Stan. A few. Good on you. Look, we all have gone through something in life, some mess, or some mess that we can turn into a message to give it meaning to help others in some way or form. And I think that's so important, to be able to utilize, look at what you've gone through and turn that tragedy into a triumph in some way or form, and turn and change the perspective of what you've gone through. And my cursor's disappeared again, so I need to find it so I can turn the chat box off. Here we go. There it is. Okay. So, and the last thing, though, I will say, I was working in the investment management world, and at the time I thought it was transactional. The time I thought, what am I doing? Am I just popping in, getting money and taking it from one institution to another? And actually, but really, what I was actually doing, if I think about it precisely, is we had great performance. We had great funds. So I was helping that granny or grandpa, retire younger, buy a better retirement home, or have a happier life. So what is the energetics of what you do and how it benefits an end granny or grandpa, mother or father, brother, sister, or son and daughter in some way or form? And when you know what that is, it might give you a little extra spring in your step when you get out of bed and go and do whatever you might do. So there's just a few ideas that might help you find that sense of purpose.